Again, I'm having all kinds of lovely issues with my system, and I'm not hearing even the echo. So, like it was last show. So, hopefully, the sound is okay. I plan to invest in some stuff. Hopefully, Santa Claus, if he wants his hat back, he's going to come up with a really good microphone. And that way, the sound will not be an issue anymore. I apologize for that. But if you can't hear me, please put a thumbs down or a thumbs up or let me know, okay, in the chat. Unfortunately, the last one somehow got detached from the chat. I'm sure it was one of the gazillion little settings that I forgot or messed up or messed. I don't know. It's a mess. But as far as this software and getting this rolling, it's been a challenge, as we know. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. I thank you, Daryl, for letting me know. Um, let's see. Let's talk a little bit about Dragon Slayers, Eagle Scout Slayers merit badge. I had I'm on vacation, as I've told you, and I went to my district's camporee. They had it at beautiful Camp Lenoche, and we were there. We did all kinds of activities. It was Egyptian theme. We had some international scouts there. It was awesome. We had an excellent time. And while I was there, I had a discussion with a young man about working on his eagle and talked to him about those Eagle Scout Slayers. I saw the Life Scout on his uniform, so I'm talking to him already about getting those three big merit badges started. Okay, just get them started. If you're a Life Scout, you got to get those started. So that's the important bit as far as getting the scouts aware of those merit badges. It is super sad if you're a mentor and have to sit and talk with a scout and their family about how they ran out of time. That's devastating. Okay, that it's sad. Okay, because they worked so hard, and then the 90-day merit badges came along and took that dream away. So don't let that happen. They can be really a problem. A lot of the members that have joined the channel have an extra video, and we talk about two more that might be an issue. So, for those who have joined, I'm so grateful. We have two members. We're small, okay. We're growing, but feel free to join and jump in and ask your questions and all that kind of stuff. So, but they have extra videos, and there was two more that we talked about in those. Um, let's see. Let's talk a little bit about Scoutmasters mentoring the SPL, the Senior Patrol Leader. It is critical that the Scoutmaster starts helping and monitoring what the Senior Patrol Leader is doing. What's critical above all is to delegate. Now, I was camping with a conjoined troop, a boy and a girl troop, and what was really interesting when I was camping there, the senior patrol leaders, they had they had delegated stuff. So if it was something to do with a project or something at the camporee or making sure the tents get put up in the right orders and all that kind of stuff, they took care of it. It was wonderful to see that in action. And it's because the scoutmasters mentor their senior patrol leaders. That's the key. You have to be there for that senior patrol leader. You don't stop everything and tell the entire troop what to do as a scoutmaster. That's the senior patrol leader's job. Okay, that's the leadership position that they are in. That's critical. Let me check some of my messages up here. This is a one man band. I'm the only one here, so I'm doing all of the monitoring. I've got monitors over there. I've got stuff over here. it's involved. So let me see if I got any questions here. We're trying to get our older scouts through citizenship and society ASAP. You know, I did a video on that, and if you really look at the requirements, you meet with you go through the blue card process, of course, but then meet with the counselor, and a lot of that's done on an individual basis on their own. So they go and study this stuff and then come back and report to or talk about with the counselor. That's word for word by the requirements in that merit badge. 2 visits. I mean, that's a pretty easy. I mean, the information, of course, is advanced. Okay, this is really for older scouts, and families should work with the scout on those requirements, finding out the information to fulfill all the requirements. That is super critical. Do not go political on that. Okay, that is, if you look at it, it's not really political in any way. So just stay away from that part of it. It's so human tendency to do that. So let's just go for the requirements and do the requirements as listed, as written out. 2 visits. You could actually meet with a counselor, get the all the information started, and what they need to do, how they need to do it, and then a presentation back to the counselor and sign it off. So that is critical. There's no time basis in there. There's no 90-day thing or any of that stuff. Okay, so you can do that pretty quickly. So ASAP, that's for sure. But as far as that merit badge, try to go by the requirements. And if you go by the requirements, none of the craziness, the political shenanigans that go on, none of that is a part of it. We are trying to prepare scouts for when they go out into the college world or the business world, what's going on. Being prepared and having those consistencies happen. Uh, it's so dramatic if they don't have that information, and we want to make sure that they are prepared for what's out there. Be prepared, right? That's on the patch. Uh, that's one of those things. Let's see. We have another one coming in here. Heritage. Okay. Alrighty. We have a lot of history videos on the channel already. If you have a specific thing you want to look into, I believe I was looking at the whiteboard for season 8, and we might as well talk about it because that's what's coming up. Season 8, we are thinking of doing maybe a 2-part thing about the siege of Mafeking. That is critical to the development of the ideal of youth leadership. That is critical. So, understanding some of the thought processes that went on then, how things developed, and how that all came to be what it was. That is, it's an amazing story. It is long and drawn out. I have books that are, inches thick. Okay, that are. It's turn of the century writing, so it's a little dry. There's not as many explosions and ship sinking and stuff like that as you might think. So, but it is it's history, and it's important that we know our history. And as a scout movement, we need to use that history as we move forward. So, very, very important. So let's talk a little more about what we have done so far. We talked about the Slayers. We talked about the Scoutmaster mentoring, the SPL. We also talked about increasing participation in the OA. Now, if you're an OA member, you got the little, let's see if I can get up there, flap. You got the flap, right? Go to the OA meetings, okay? I'm serious. Make a commitment. Try to go and do some OA activities. They're a lot of fun. The older scouts Love it, because they're not doing scout skills. They're not teaching knots. They're not teaching how to build campfires. These these young scouts have moved forward in age, and they have all those scout skills. So they just go and they make those things become reality in a leadership situation. So when they go to their conclaves and their all the different camporees that they do some of that. Go with them, okay? As an adult leader, please go there. And as a youth, participate in your chapter. Critical to their success. They need you. The ones that elected you need you too. So you don't forget that. So it is a cheerful service. So please always remember that. As far as the OA. As far as, let me see, history of the Cub Scouts. Did you know that? I, when I looked first into it, I had no idea that Seaton, the guy who kind of formed a lot of the early stuff with American Boy Scouts from Baden Powell's um, inspiration, his books and his writing and so on. Seaton actually had his own group and was trying to develop that youth leadership, and started off at the same time as Boy Scouts started off trying to make Cub Scouts. Well, that wasn't working out. They were, they needed to iron out the basics, the rubric for what they needed to do for scouting. Okay, that's what they needed to start with, and to introduce a whole new program that was not really received well. Okay, so it got put a pin in it, and they set it aside, and they developed it over the years. By 1930, they did Cub Scouts, and originally, Cub Scouting in the Seaton mindset, in what he was trying to put through, was that Cub Scouts was going to be a part of a troop. Now, this sounds insane. And the troop was going to have youth leaders run that den. Okay, it was it was it was just mind blowing. The early stuff. So they kind of fine tuned it and stuff, and they brought in den moms and the den mother program, and then den leaders, and of course the pack and all the formation of it all. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. If you're in Cub Scouts, Cub Scout leader, or were a Cub Scout, that is a good video. Check that one out. We also did. I'm going through my notes. Oh, I got some questions coming in. Let's see. The top 3 patch collecting. Are you a patch collector? I've got patches laying around here. I mean, patches are big in scouting, and we can use patch collecting as a way to incorporate the scout oath and the scout law, because we always shake the other scout's hand when we trade patches. We were trustworthy, and we're loyal to the program, and we're friendly and courteous, and we're kind in our trading. These are things that scouts and scouters can incorporate into their unit. Patch trading and patch collecting is amazing, and you can have 3 different divisions. And there's more. I mean, and you can go down those divisions and get more focused. I know a collector that does all pre-formatted CSPs. Okay, and they're all different shapes. They could be round, they could be square, they could be a diamond, they could be all different shapes before they went to a standard shapes that we know today as a council strip. So, you can really drill down into those, and they can be very, very fun to do. Let's see. We also went into Thanksgiving. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving and are ready to go into Christmas with joy in your heart and thankfulness. I am very thankful for you joining our group here, and throwing in stuff, okay, as far as questions and things like that. That is So nice, and I really do appreciate that. Our Scoutmaster, oh, let's see, Twin Daddy. Oh, okay. Let's see. Leadership Summer Camp. What can I do when I feel strongly that the activities are too risky at the time? Scouting is a safe place. If you see something that's not safe, you need to step up and say, hey, we need to stop at this point and reassess. Okay. Um, Safety is critical. It's our job as a scouter when we're doing these things with the youth when they're going camping and canoeing and whitewater rafting and summer camp and all that stuff. We need to make sure they're safe. Okay, we don't need to take the fun out of it, but it's no fun not being safe. Okay, you gotta be safe, and that actually adds to the fun because you can do these things like whitewater rafting and wear helmets and make sure that you're in the age groups and you go through the on training when you're there, for paddling and listening and keeping that could be an exhilarating ride. I can tell you that going to summer camp and going down the Ocoee River was an experience. I absolutely love that river. It literally is a roller coaster in the water. It and dangerous, but you have to do it safely. I've done it many times safely and had an absolute blast. Okay, so that's one of those things. If you're if you're concerned strongly about an activity, it's optional. So if you're a parent or an assistant scoutmaster and you go to summer camp and you don't want a certain scout or your son or daughter to do repelling, don't let them. If you know you paid for that experience, so it's all a matter of communicating and talking about it. And maybe in the off time you can sit and talk with the counselors of the camp about that activity. And if you're willing, you could actually see what it's like. You could, as a scouter, as an adult, you could actually go and find out what the repelling experience is. Okay, and they will help you understand, and that way you can promote the safety of it with the scouts. So, that's the thing. We always say that scouting is a safe place to fail. All right. And the reason is that we're totally safe on the front. If there's something going on that's not, we we stop. Okay. But we want to take that experience, and if they do fail, like in a leadership situation, they learn from it. It's a safe place for them. So that's the critical part, answering your question there. Richard, let's see. If you were a retail commissioner today, I plan the next 6 months. Hi. Okay. Thanks for taking the question. If you were at a roundtable commissioner today and planning for a 6 month topics, would you want to? There is a planning for the roundtable. Now you have to keep in mind, roundtable is part of training. As a scout leader, you're expected to go to roundtable. That's true for all leaders. Parents are also welcome to come too. And youth that are in the OA often will have their meetings at the same time. Excuse me. Let me get some water. Youth also will have their meetings for the OA at the same time. Often. Sometimes they might be doing something special elsewhere. So that's not always. And it's not always everywhere you go throughout the country. So Cub Scouts and troops, PAX troops, crews, and ships have their own divisions depending on their unit structure. So if you have 25, 30 packs in your district, they will have their own session where they talk about the stuff um, going on within the pack. Okay, and it usually has a theme. It's very helpful for the Cub Master because that theme is something that's the next following month, and that helps them. Okay, so that helps them organize it. Den leaders, it's a great way to connect with other den leaders and find out what their challenges are and how they handled those challenges. So those are possibilities at Roundtable. Whereas a troop, you have all the different things that are going on within a troop as far as planning for summer camp, fundraising, equipment, all of that kind of stuff is talked about. And they usually will have a subject each month that is relevant to the following month. So that is really important to go and do. The same thing's true in the crew and the ship. They have their own things. I'm in Central Florida, so we have ships, but they're on the coast. So we don't have anything in the where I live in Orange County or East Orange County. It's the eastern section of Orlando. Um, they don't have a ship, so that's true. And of course, they have explorers and all the other stuff going on too. But you got to go to Roundtable. I think it's wonderful. You need to go through the planner that's presented by your council, okay, and national. They have that actually going through. If you're a commissioner for the Roundtable, that is made very clear, and it helps them develop that. And also with a district, a lot of times the district will work with the communication specialist that will actually do the newsletter, okay, or the email that goes out, of the text or whatever that that corresponds with the communication through their mass media for Roundtable. So keep that in mind too. They will be involved in trying to promote that. So if there's something coming about scouting for food, or whatever's going on, that's something that they will know about, and they'll try to get out there and make sure you are aware of it too. So definitely, if you're looking for a position in adult leadership, you've been in a pack, you've been in a troop, you've been in a crew, whatever, and you're looking to move on and let new leadership come in, think about commissioner work. Commissioner work is awesome. Okay, definitely consider that. You could be a really good commissioner because you have experience, and even then, sometimes it's better just to get a commissioner that doesn't have any bad habits. You know what I mean? So that's one thing, okay? So definitely think about doing some commissioner work. Let me see. Oh, let's see. We have Richard here. I was hoping that Nathan was going to be here. He did the what was it? He was on. Oh, he wrote an entire show basically. Um, it was the Distinguished Conservation Service Program. He did the scripting for it. He put out all the bullet points and all the links and everything for that. He's awesome. So I hope and there's some changes. I mispronounced his name. It's not spelled the way I said it. So we'll get Lido instead of Lido. So I messed that one up. But and his picture has changed. So and that's true. You can't be an Eagle Scout that young in his little round picture that was displayed. So, but he did an awesome job, and I was hoping to see him on here. It might be a little late for him to come on and say hi. Um, that is one of those things that I am eternally grateful for. All the work that he did. That is really wonderful. And if you want to do something and I haven't covered it, please let me know. I will use your notes. It saves me a lot of time. But you have to refer to everything. You have to have that reference there. So that's critical, so that we can make sure that we're not giving out bad information. We want to make sure that it's good information that really can help the subject. All right. What is your favorite current merit badge? And what is your favorite? Oh my gosh, my eyes are going bad. My favorite lesser earned merit badge. You know what it is? I have it right down here. I'm actually a counselor for it. Um, Let me see if I got it. Do I have it down here? I have it right at my feet. Let's see if I got it. Let me see if I got that there. Do I have it with me? And I could I give you something graphic. My goodness, my den here has so much going on, and it's something else. Ugh. I mean, you should see some of the reference materials that I have in here. Um, Merit badge. Let me just tell you about it. I don't have one I can show you and bring up and all that. It's the Entrepreneur Merit Badge. It's rare. It's new. It's relatively new, but that is a good one. Okay, look into that one. That is awesome. Um, Let me get some water. Hang on. That is an awesome merit badge. Scouts that get that, it opens up a new world for them. I am always amazed when they start looking at that, thinking, I can do this and this and make that a business, and then take that business and sell that business as a product. I mean, that really just it is something else. So definitely look into the Entrepreneur Merit Badge. I believe it's the hand with the star in the sky, so it's reaching for the stars. It is a wonderful merit badge, and whenever I see that on someone's merit badge sash, I always make a point to thank them and ask them some other questions like what business did they start, what they do. That those are great merit badges. Um, Another one that I do is Scouting Heritage. So, Scouting Heritage is a wonderful merit badge, and I often teach that like at merit badge academies locally. So that's a wonderful one, talking about Baden Powell in the early years and all that stuff. That is so important. But it's important, and honestly, I think that merit badge should be required. Here's my reasoning for that. If you're an Eagle Scout, you've done all the required merit badges. Having that knowledge of where scouting is and what it's about helps you, so that when people come up to you and say, hey, you're an Eagle Scout, blah, 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 you're able to answer the questions. That's the beauty of that merit badge. It really helps along. It's not required, but that's another thing. Um, but there's a lot of neat merit badges out there. The composite one is fascinating. There's so many merit badges, and I have a young man that I mentored to Eagle, and at his Eagle Board of Review, I was mentor, so I was only allowed to sit behind him. I wasn't asked any questions, and they didn't look at me. But I heard him actually make the commitment to the board that he was going to earn every merit badge. Now, that's a huge commitment, but he did it. He actually got every merit badge. I believe his grandmother actually sewed two sashes together, so it was six across, and it covered from one side all the way around. Amazing. Okay, now in that endeavor, he also got all the Nova stuff. He got all the trail stuff. He got the, a mile swim. He got all of the extras. So it was absolutely amazing. What a wonderful young man, and did scouting right, and went off to college. Now I think he's working on becoming a scientist in chemistry. So he'll be a doctor at no time. But amazing, merit badges can open the future for your young people. It is just amazing. And you scouters out there, you all can be counselors. You all have skills. Okay, there are automotive ones, plumbing. There's a lot of stuff, electricity, power generation. You, you name the category. There's probably several merit badges that you're totally qualified for, and definitely look into becoming a merit badge counselor. You could do that in addition to all the other stuff. Okay, it's not going to take up every minute of your day. Okay, so seriously think about that. We need merit badge counselors because you can't offer all those without it. Now you can go goofy. I think I had my. Oh, this is crazy. I have adult merit badges. These are these are insane. Now, if you go to Class B, I think that's where most camps get them. The very first one I got, and it was fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It was underwater. This is underwater basketry. I have a whole sash of these things, but some of them are fun. I had one who gave me the cat herding merit badge. So that's for taking care of some young scouts and making sure they got to the firing range and got to the craft pavilion at summer camp. These are fun. These are just fun merit badges that adult leaders do. I taught the slacking merit badge, and I was reminded that about that merit badge. And they're just fun. Okay, these are for scouters, just to have fun. And a lot of scout camps do these kinds of merit badges. It's just it's just an unusual thing. So merit badges are fun. Let's see. Let's see. Hello, I'm about 21. I did a COR. Okay, COR. With the conversation with the COR. Let's see. You are 21. Okay, I'm 21, and I want to approach the COR of the troop. My making about marking. Okay. Now this is totally fine. You can definitely approach the COR at 21 and talk about it. There is some legal issues as far as your age. 21 is legal age for 99% of everything. Insurance companies, and that's when you get into that issue. Some CORs may not want anyone under 25, so that is something that they may have an issue with. So age, it has nothing to do with maturity. Crazy as it may seem, it has everything to do with being insurable and bonded. So, you're dealing with the most precious thing in most people's lives, children. Okay, you got to be trustworthy and loyal, and be insurable. Okay, that might be the issue. Now, I don't know. It depends on where you are. It depends on the insurance levels and what's going on. Have the conversation anyways. Talk about it. Worst case scenario, you got to wait, just 4 years, to become that 25, that magic number 25. So definitely think about that. Um, that is important. And at 21, that's awesome that you want to get involved as Scoutmaster. It is a huge commitment, but it's a benefit from that is immense. When you have scouts after 20 years of giving it all for that troop, and then scouts calling you at home and thanking you for all the service that you do, it has payback in in that alone. Okay, and knowing that you have helped mentor tomorrow's future, and that's a huge responsibility, and it's a huge benefit to America. So, and that's what I'm all about. I want to make sure that leaders get out there and help young people succeed. And that is a wonderful thing. So thank you for thinking about becoming a Scoutmaster. And this is true for anyone that didn't type in the question. You could definitely get involved in this, and definitely, um, you don't have to be the Scoutmaster. You could be an assistant Scoutmaster. Once you're 18 in a troop, you can go right into an assistant Scoutmaster's position, and that's great because that gives you the exposure to the program. It continues, and anything that changes, you're aware of. That's a wonderful thing, and it builds that rapport with the youth, and then they cross over when they turn 18 and they become. You can have as many assistant scoutmasters as you want, whatever. That's totally fine. And there's troops out there that have 12 assistant scoutmasters, but they have 60 youth in their unit. So they need that amount. And the more training you get, the better. And definitely get all the training you can. That gives you time. If they gotta wait till 25, that's fine. If you gotta wait and get all that training, come into it ready to go and ready to help. Not all positions. Adults need to know this, and you need to talk to parents about it on a regular basis. Not all adults have to be scout facing. Okay, we need just as many scout facing as we need backstage. Okay, and I'm talking about the committees, and I'm talking about taking care of the gear and the equipment and all the things that go along with that. The treasurer, the all the things that go into a committee. Okay, there's a lot of work back there, fundraising and all that stuff behind the scenes. Even though we're youth led, the youth run the meeting and do their youth meeting. There's a great deal of structure that needs to be there to keep it safe and to keep it running well. And you have your scout facing and, of course, your backstage. So talk to your adult leaders about that all the time. Try to get them to come in and help out. It's hard to do everything. In fact, it's impossible. You can't do everything on your own. That's a one man band that burns out real quick. Okay, that it's just not going to happen. So you have to delegate. You have to have other people involved, and getting your parents. And don't take no as an answer. No is just means not now. Okay, and not the position you offered. Um, so time things change. Time goes on. They get more confident. They get more aware. Bring parents camping, okay? And the very first thing you need to do, and you need to make it real clear, you're camping as an adult leader. There are no moms and no dads on a camp out. So when their child says mom or dad, they don't answer. They have to refer to them appropriately, okay? Respectfully with their last name. That right there gets that leadership changing. That gets that they understand that they're there for a purpose, not for just their kids. Okay, we don't need helicopter moms and dads hovering over their children, making sure they clean their mess kit right. Okay, we don't need that. We need them to help the whole troop do what they need to do. Okay, that's the thing, and mentor and talk with other parents about doing those things. Go camping, go do things with the troop, and they'll see there's a need. They will see they need somebody to do to haul the trailer for the troop. They need to put together the Pinewood Derby thing, the track. There's so much that goes on in scouting, and we need adults to really get involved. So that's super important. Oh, I had a bunch of questions come in while I was. You know me, I just go on and go on. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna read through a few of these. My eyesight's not so good. I tried my best to change the colors. It's white print on black background, and it's really hard to see. It's real small, and I tried to make it bigger. My vision is not. I'm getting older, so my vision's kind of going. So, um, does the national office give a topic they would like to cover? You know what? I'm a volunteer. The question is, does the national office give any kind of topics for me to cover? No, I'm a volunteer. I pick out conversations from you, okay, and things I think of or see in the field. I'm an active commissioner. I've got 6 units, so I I do weekly meetups with them. I go camping. I'm active. Okay, so I see a lot of things that need to be covered. I'm on the ground, and I'm a volunteer. I don't get paid a dime for this, so they don't give me any. Uh, you know what? They've never even called me. I did an interview with Dave, who does a wonderful Eagle Scout thing, and he was stunned, stunned that they have never even called me. Now, my council office, I know everybody on a first name basis, so and that's it's time. I've been with this council for a very long time, and so I've had DEs come and go, and I've had field directors come and go, and I've had executives come and go. But I'm the rock in the middle of the stream. So that's just me. I like doing volunteer work, and I have tons of really fun stories, great stories, wonderful stories about scouts and their successes. And I am so proud of every single young person that I have mentored towards a goal and have made that goal come a reality. That is just, it gives you chills. I mean, that is something else, and that's what I get paid. And you couldn't afford to pay me that. So as far as count national, they just I just do my thing. Okay, I believe heavily in the Scout Oath and Scout Law. My channel is designed for adults, okay, but it's not an adult channel. I do not use profanity. I do not um, downgrade anyone for anything or any reason. I believe that scouting is the best thing for our youth and actually could change and save this world. I think that that's a wonderful thing that we need to do. And because I believe in the Scout Oath and Scout Law, I don't think they need to talk to me. I mean, it's not like they have to, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing all the right things. Okay? I go by policy and I agree with it. So that's just me. So I have one that's got two parts. Let me see here real quick. Okay. I see that there is one here that's a two-parter. Um, it is said that a troop that camps monthly have a higher level of retention. I would have to agree with that. I would have to agree with that. But every troop is different. There are some troops that camp 4 times a year. They do the camporee, they might do something with council, and they go to summer camp and they might have a canoe weekend. That's it. The rest of the time they're doing conservation projects. they're doing some activities every single month. I think that's more important than going camping. Camping is a very specific thing. Tents and overnight stay and campfire and all the things that go along with camping. A canoe trip is a wonderful thing. A hiking is a wonderful thing. Those are also very good, and they can be combined with camping. So, so there's activities that they can do. So the second part of that was assuming that the overnight's better or the synergy benefits. Yeah, I think getting out, and one of the things that the second part was talking about is the getting out, doing the camping out. One of the things that we need, and this is something, don't tell the young people this, but we need to get them away from the screens. There are too many hours spent literally bent over looking at their phone, okay? And it can be um, damaging in many ways if they become um, withdrawn from their peers. Going camping, we don't allow electronics. We allow cameras, take pictures of the birds and the squirrels and stuff like that. But we don't we don't allow games, those little game boxes. So getting them out of that into something else, they'll look up for a change and see the beautiful blue sky and beautiful clouds and the nice weather and stuff. Now, this is the weird part. I go camping during the winter. If you live up north, you don't camp during the winter. So we're in camping season right now. It was wonderful. It's December, and in Orlando, where we're in the tropics, um, we have camping that's just gorgeous during the winter. In fact, we have a summer camp, but it's not during the summer. It's winter camp. We have a winter camp. We do have a summer camp, and it is in the boiling hot sun. But being in the tropics, that's the neat thing. I mean, a lot of people may not have ever had a tropical camping experience, so that's something to think about. If you're up in Georgia and you're up in North Carolina or way up in Pennsylvania, you might want to think about coming to Florida for a vacation and a nice summer camp. Lenoche's Lenoche's a good one. Okay, there are some other ones in Florida, but Lenoche, I'm kind of partial to it. I like Lenoche. So look into it. Okay, tropical camping is it's difficult. It's not easy. It's not simple. It is a challenge. So think about it. Camping is one of those great experiences that most youth do not have an opportunity outside of scouting. Think about it. Where else are they going to go camping? Most of the time, if they're like in 4-H and they're going to go on a big trip to do something with 4-H, guess what? They're going to stay in hotels. Okay? Is that really a camping experience? No. So camping experience is very important, but not all troops camp like crazy. Okay? So I'm gonna read some more questions here. My Cub Scout group is having a hard time finding a charter. Tell me about it. Oh, it has been difficult. Can the council charter them? Well, the short answer is no. The council cannot charter them. That's not really the charter system. If there's a video called the charter system, and it talks about charters and how they work and why the scouts use charters in the United States. Chartering system, you have to have some organization, for profit or non-profit, church, something. It can be anything. It can also be a civic group too. It could be the Kiwanis. It could be the Rotary Club. It could be the PTA. It could be anybody. Okay, an organization of some kind can do the charter. So think about that. Charters are hard to get right now, and well, not hard to get, but hard to keep. Okay, we need to keep our charters. If your unit is happy with the charter, you need to do things like have a pancake breakfast to thank them. You need to do their flag ceremonies for them. You need to do stuff for that charter so they are aware of you. Don't be invisible to your charter, and we talk about that a lot. But as far as finding a charter for your, I think you said Cub Scouts, it's difficult. Most schools, most civic organizations do not, they for some reason They don't understand the charter system. I don't know why, but they don't understand it and they won't do it. It's if you think about it, it's kind of amazing that not more organizations that there's far more that do than don't. Okay, the ones that don't, you sit back and go, why? Why would they do that to their children in their community? Why would they deprive them of the opportunity of Cub Scouts? I I get my I get a little so when you're doing that to kids, that really, ooh, no, I don't handle it well. So that's usually when I get the paid staff involved. I let them do that. Okay, that's the wild thing. And and the thing is, the packs and the troops and the crews and all the different things of scouting, those can be self-sufficient. There would be no financial burden whatsoever on the charter. Okay, if things go south, yeah, but that takes a long time. You see that long ahead. But the thing is, the unit can do fundraisers and raise money to pay for all the stuff the charter would. Okay, they are benefiting by helping their community. So that's the wonderful thing. And as a unit, you need to sort of give back to that charter. If you got, I think there's one that's a charter that I heard of that was with a piano teaching institute for music, and they have a pack. And oh, their pack meetings are awesome because they have pianos. They do quite a big production. It's amazing. But the neat thing is they go and when they go out to places to perform, to really showcase the stuff for that charter, um, they just bring the charm on, and it's a benefit to them too because they're helping their community. It's just one hand washing the other. It is amazing. So look into some stuff. I mean, the traditional places for chartering, they're getting they're getting filled. They're getting full from other charters that are moving in. So it is a challenge. Talk to your professionals. They're the ones that get paid. They're the ones that might have a connection there to help you with your charter. That's coming up by the end of this month. Got to get it done. Let's see. All right. Thank you for sponsors. Let's see. Thank you for your answer. Uh, oh, cool. Daryl says that they have camp during winter. Okay, being in Colorado. That's cool. Now I did hear that up north in I think it's the canoe base, the northern tier, and I have a Eagle Scout that actually works at Northern Tier that I mentored, and he was telling me that they have a thing during the winter. So that's a high adventure scout base that has activities during winter, and it gets cold. Okay, it's up there. It is definitely up there, and that is amazing. Okay, they do igloos and sled dogs and all that stuff. So I tell you, scouting is amazing. Um, okay, let's see. About to do a physical session next month. Camp Bliss, Michigan. Bliss, Bells, Bez. Am I saying it right? Okay, up in Michigan. Michigan's beautiful. Upstate Michigan's gorgeous. Lower state's okay. No, Michigan. I lived in Flint, Michigan. My that was a while back. Awesome. So I'm trying to keep up with your questions here. All our scouts have a completed second class swimming test. Okay, 50 feet. There is a swimming test when you go to summer camp. Yes. let's see. First class rank in some of the scouts. Any insight? What we could do? Wait a minute. All right. So what you're saying, all right, Twin Daddy is saying is that. See if I got the question right. That second class swim test is 50 feet, right? Of swimming distance, not depth. Okay, so it's 50 feet. And then first class swimming test is 300 feet. Okay, first class rank. Uh, well, the I believe what you're referring to in the second class thing is rescue. I think that's the 50-foot thing. Okay. Now the rescue part, they're not actually in the water. They could be on the dock or in a boat. They're throwing a rope or a life preserver or something of that nature. So it's a little bit different. There's a little bit of room there. The 300 feet, I believe you're talking about, is the actual distance of the dock, passing it 3 times. Okay, so at most scout camps, they have a measured distance that you swim. It's a swim test, and that's done usually on the first day of summer camp. They will go down to the waterfront and get ready for a swim test. And I think that's and a lot of the things you do, you may not think about it, but all of a sudden you say, "Oh, that's a requirement in this thing." And the neat thing is, in scouting, you can work on any of the requirements for any of the positions below first class. So from scout to tenderfoot to second class, first class, that's all there. So that's the neat thing about it. You can work on the different requirements, and it is the majority of the requirements. When you look at Star Life and Eagle, it's like a single page. it's pop pop pop. It's real simple. Not simple, but very simply put out. So I think that's what you're referring to on those two things. But you know, it, I believe it did come up. I was asked to be on a board of review for second class, and I think it came up. They talked about rescue. I think that was it. I think that was the one. So, but you really can't combine the two because one's not in the water. Okay, so you really can't combine swim test with rescue. So they're two separate things, I believe. Um, let's see. Complete all the requirements of the swim test. Yes, I believe they do. That is, Simon actually put into his reply that yes, that is part of the requirements of the swim test that they do, and it's okay. If you have scouts that have never jumped in a pool like that and done the swim test, that's okay. They can talk to the lifeguard and say, "Hey, I'm not really comfortable with this," and they can reschedule, or they could say, "Hey, I want to learn how to swim." That's wonderful. Okay, that's that's a great thing. Go to summer camp and learn how to swim. That is just awesome. Okay, so that is something. The swim test is to make sure that when there's open swim, that the swimmers actually have the skills, so that they're not struggling learning. Swimming is not something you just jump in and do. Okay, you do need instruction. Okay, a lot of people think, oh, it's like do the dog paddle. No, no. A lot of people, if they can't touch bottom, that becomes a panic. Okay, so it can be really bad real quick. So take swimming seriously. But one of the neat things is when they go to summer camp and they have those swims, that is just awesome. And they learn how to swim. They may not learn it that summer, but they'll learn it pretty quick, and they might even get a merit badge out of it. That's an awesome thing. What is the best way to get started on JTE? You know what? January 1st, print that out. That is one of the very first things to do. Print that thing out and let it run your year. Okay, very first part of the year. To answer your question, I believe it's I can't pronounce your name. Sorry, but it is has to do with JTE. Okay, when to start JTE and why should you do JTE? All successful troops, all successful packs, crews, and ships use JTE, Journey to Excellence. Definitely, definitely, it changes every year, and there's different levels that you can achieve. And usually, when you do your recharter, that's when you're declared a certain level for the past year. So you need to start it as soon as you finish your rechartering. You're on the following year. So you need to download the latest copy for that coming year. It would be 2023, and print that out. You need to organize your pack and your troop and your crew and your ship that way towards the goals in JTE. That is critical. When you do that, you make a better unit. And I tell you what, units that run by Journey to Excellence, they don't have recruitment problems. They don't have leadership problems. They don't have them because they follow, they have a great unit. They have people, you have to have a waiting list, okay? I mean, there'll be people flooding in to take advantage of the wonderful things that are in scouting. That is that is tremendous. So you need to start it right off. As soon as you've put in your charter for that for the year coming, that's when you need to start JTE. You need to do it. Mid-year, you might get the next year and get a sneak peek of it too. Start that too. JTE is awesome. Definitely do it. Let's see. Requirements. Let's see. Yeah, our troop 32 charter. That's true, Hannah. Hussein Galani. I'm sorry. I want to refer to your notes so that people can look at the comments on the side. Um, the the troop, you could be in a troop for years and years and never know about JTE. It's been around for a very, very long time. I don't know if it's been around 30 years, but it has been there. Okay, and some troops, I don't know why, they have their own way of doing stuff. JTE is that one way to do stuff. Okay, if you can do JTE and it's not hard. Okay, and it's great because you get points for trying. Okay, just trying to do the right thing, to doing the things in the JTE. You can actually do very well. I know I know huge troops, gigantic troops that have lots of leaders, lots of youth that don't get JTE. They don't get it. They get bronze or silver. They never achieve gold level. And I know units that have 6 scouts, two scoutmasters. I mean, that's it. And they get gold every year, and they are awesome. They do some incredible scouting. They do amazing. Okay, JTE is the way to do it. You got to do it. Got to do JTE. In fact, I believe it was my second video ever on this channel was about JTE. It's that important. So I think I talked about commissioners, and then I did JTE, and then it was free game. Oh, I got your name right. Awesome. That is fantastic. I love these conversations, but I think we're over an hour. People got school and work tomorrow. So, goodness. All right, let me see what we got going here. Let me make sure we're good. All right, so we could probably go for another 10 minutes. Is that all right? All right, I don't want to keep anybody up too late. The reason we start this late on the East Coast is so the West Coast can actually get out of work and get home and have something to eat. So it's you got your 4 time zones. The East Coast, the Central, Mountain, and Pacific. So you got those. That's America's big. So We gotta set our time and make sure that it's good. Um, JTE is awesome. I know units that have gotten it gold every single year, and those units are so strong. They don't have problems with financials. They don't. They do the same. They don't have problems with recruiting or leadership, or they don't have the problems that we see in many units that are struggling. JTE is just like a gift. I mean, that's how to run a unit. That is how the scouters in the unit, um, scout facing and backstage, need to run the unit. They need to do it by JTE. It works. It just works. Okay, it's an awesome thing. Go online. Go to those videos that I mentioned. Um, I believe they were a while back. They were, oh my gosh, 3 years ago. Um, so they are a while. They're deep in the archives here. But put JTE on the channel and look up that thing. Look at the notes, and the links are there, and those links are still current. They will go to um, the most current JTE and take a look at them. They're PDFs. It's just a front and back. It's a simple printed page. So think about that. Definitely want to get into JTE. Our troop to become more boy led. In a boy troop, yes, yes. Currently, leaders should stop doing everything. That will burn a troop out and make the youth mad. Okay? You need to do the program. Okay? There are two big things that you need to do. If you are unfortunate and got into a troop that's not youth led, okay, boys or girls, if they're not leading the unit, there's a problem, okay? The scout facing people that are there are doing everything. They're doing the meeting, they're doing the presentations, they're doing all of the games. They're doing way too much. They're doing more than they should. It's not their meeting. It's a youth meeting. And the youth run the youth meeting, okay? And you need to make that clear to them. They need to understand that. There are two things that you need to bring to their mind. One is JTE. They talk about that. They talk about all of the structure of the unit, and a lot of that has to do with youth leadership. The second one, I think is it this one? Yeah, this is the one. I did a video about the introduction to leadership skills. Okay, this book. Okay, this is awesome. This is how the adults in the unit actually train the youth. They use this syllabus. It's a training course, and it can be done over a weekend. It can be done over weekends or weeknights for a period of time. This is for the senior patrol leader, assistant patrol leader, scribe, bugler, all of the elected officials and appointed officials that are youth running the unit. This introduction to leadership skills gives them the tools to do the job. It gives them a job description. It gives them all of the stuff they need to do it. And then the adults need to go by that, okay? And only step in if there's a safety issue. That's really the only time they should say anything to the whole troop. You know, when they say time out, no more. No more wood on the fire because it's just getting way too big, okay? It's that kind of safety thing. No more running in camp, okay? These are things that the adults have to be mindful of. That's the only time they really should be doing that. Now, the rest of the time, they need to be talking to the management of the youth that are actually managing the unit. They're the boss. They're the ones that actually come up with the program. They're the ones who come up with solving issues directly. Okay, where to put, Jimmy comes to the scoutmaster and said, where do I put my tent? Well, the scoutmaster shouldn't say anything but go talk to your senior patrol leader. Okay, that is the way it should work. Okay, and I know people that actually have shirts that has that written on it. Okay, so They need to use that structure. The the senior patrol leader and assistant senior patrol leader, and there can be more than one, um, or whoever's been appointed if they're both out. Though they are in charge, and they're the ones that say, Billy, please put your tent up with your patrol. Okay, go see your patrol leader. That's that is how it should be handled. Okay, and as adults, we are there to mentor and help and point out things that they may not see. So that's a very, very important thing. I believe in. I've not only just. I'm trying to remember the quote from Baden Powell. He said something about patrol method, and he says it's not how the best way to run a troop. It's the only way to run a troop, a real one, and it's youth led. So that's how it's done. Because if you're doing everything as a leader, you're gonna burn up. Just you're gonna blow up. Uh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm so glad you like the videos. You know, they're kind of evergreen. You can go back and look at them. Some of them I wasn't so good on. I'm learning. I'm old too, so yeah. Um, Wood Badge is awesome. Definitely go to Wood Badge. Awesome. Wood Badge. I'm trying to remember that. I think there was a case where someone that was 19 that went to Wood Badge. And I don't remember what happened there. I don't know if they got it or they didn't, or I don't know. But 21 is fine. 21 is great. Definitely do Wood Badge. Wood Badge is awesome. The tickets are hard, but they really are good. Okay? And when you wear your beads, you're going to wear a pair of beads like this, just like Baden Powell had given his leaders that went through Wood Badge. Um, that's awesome. So definitely do it. You'll always remember your critter too. I was a Bob White. To the chagrin of my entire family, who are all, and it's about 9 scouters that were all owls. So if you really want to see some, look at the critter. I believe I did a Wood Badge thing about critters. So look at that, and you'll know how crazy that is. But you know, it's gotten less now, so they've gotten more towards the program and doing it. Okay, trying to get the scouts to go to OA. You know, and this is something we need to repeat over and over and over again with our youth. The OA is not all about ordeal. Period. Okay? Get that clear. You do ordeal once. You never do it again. Ever. Once. And after that, OA is a blast. Okay? Now, you get a sash right after that. You're a member. You're in the membership process. Let's say that. Brotherhood is how you seal your member. Membership in the OA is permanent. So if you're one of these sash and dash, as we like to call them, or flapper, okay, somebody who wears the flap but you never see him at anything OA, definitely think about it. Get committed. Do some OA stuff, okay? Go and do that, all right? That's important. The youth see the adults going and doing these things, they're going to come along because they're in the OA and they want to become brothers in the OA and so on. There's only that. That's it. Vigil is after brotherhood. Okay, many years later, you may get an honor of vigil. Okay, and vigil is a totally it's an honor. Okay, it's not the third level. A lot of people think it is. It is an honor. They're honoring that scout because of vigil like behavior. So that's why they have that. So definitely get involved in the OA, and vigil shouldn't be your goal. Okay, that's the first thing. You know, it's like it's not something you can't even apply for it. I mean, it's not something you do for yourself. Yeah, others do it to you. That sounded bad. Others do it for you. That's what I should say. But yeah, that's what visual is. But get into the OA. Start doing it. All right. All right. Simon two. Let's see. Some units use an area's requirements of the scout and NYLT first before taking it on leadership position in the unit. You know, that's possible. You could do that. NYLT is Wood Badge for Youth. That's kind of what it is. They don't have tickets or beads, but the syllabus is just as elaborate as the Wood Badge syllabus. So they're very similar programs. In fact, a lot of times the stuff they develop for the youth, it eventually goes into Wood Badge. So that's something to think about. Um, the NYLT, that's the National Youth Leadership Training that your council does at your summer camp. So look into it. In fact, when I went through, I was quartermaster and then I was an assistant scoutmaster for an NYLT. And that's, if a lot of people ask that question, okay, this was my assistant scoutmaster was yellow. Okay, it's a yellow woggle that's tied around my beads. And then there's a brown one for my quartermaster work. So that's those two. Okay. So that's what those are. Okay. You'd have to look at some other videos to find that out. But I put them on here to symbolize how important NYLT is. Some units might have that requirement. A lot of units say that you have to be first class. So, that's up to the unit. Sometimes a unit will have a code of conduct, which I highly encourage, especially for packs and especially for troops. They need a code of conduct. Of course, the first one is everything's run by Scout Oath and Scout Law. Uh, then you need to have the rules as far as participation, eligibility for a position that's elected. Those kinds of things need to be spelled out. So every unit is different, and you need to have that developed. And then every year, your committee should go over that and make changes. That is important for your unit. All right, so I got some more follow up on that, and then we gotta wrap this up because people on the East Coast are getting sleepy. So enjoy the holiday time off. I have looked forward to this all year. In the summer, when we decided to take December off, after this, I think there's some editing I need to do, and then I'm spending the week of Christmas with family. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be an enjoyable holiday. Um, and then we're going to get into next year. We're still I can't help myself. I'm an avid reader of history of scouting, and I love all of the different things on there. In fact, if you're looking for a book, I don't know if it's in print or not. If you're looking for a book on scouting, one that I've almost worn out, okay, and this one, well, that's the paper cover. Let me see if I got a. No, there's nothing underneath it. The paper cover of this might be different in your area. It's a coffee table book, but it's got great information in it. It's about world scouting. It's the history of scouting. Okay, and this I'm constantly diving into. Okay, there's stuff about Baden-Powell in here. I mean, there's pictures, and it is a wonderful book for anyone. So if you can find that, an official history of scouting. It has a forward by Baden-Powell, and it's really set up. I believe this was prepared by WAMU. It's this thing that was prepared by them. Okay, so that's actually the people who printed it. So I'll put up the ISBN number in case you want to find that somewhere. That is a great book. I don't know if it's still in print. It's been around for a few years, and I've almost worn it out. It's a great reference. Okay, it gives you dates and times of when things happened and where and why and all that stuff around the world. So definitely look into the book. So the subject about NYLT and all of the different levels, and then having that code of conduct. Those are all very important. Please do those things. Over this holiday season, take time for yourself. Okay, think about scouting. Think about all of the wonderful leaders that helped you this year. They have donated for free their time. They've donated more than that. Their car, their miles on the car, um, going to camp, gas, other things that you don't even think about that they and forfeiting things like a weekend at home. Um, they spent it with your troop or your crew or your pack. Think about them. This is the time to really think about some awesome people. Okay, awesome people. Oh, and by the way, on that book, I don't get a dime. That was a freebie. I don't get anything from that. It's not a promotion, okay? That is not a promotion. I just say it's a great book if you can find it. It's rare. I got it for $1, I think, or $1.50. I don't know. It was at a book liquidator, and I was able to get that, and I was just so grateful for it. I've referenced it several times in videos. So, but this year, think about your scouts and your scouters. They dedicate a lot of time for your youth, and they get a benefit from it. But it would be nice to be thanked. So definitely give them a thank you, um, a hearty handshake, and a good tap on the shoulder. Okay, because that is precious. We have so little time on this world, and we need to spend it wisely. And we choose to do scouting, and we choose to help others at all times. Let's keep it up. So for the year, because I probably won't see you, I don't see you now, but for the year, uh, think about that. At the end of the year, definitely thank your scouts and your scouters. They really do put a lot of work towards changing the world through scouting. And I thank you so much. And I'm going to call it from here, okay? Because we need to close it up for the East Coast. They need to get to bed and get up early and work hard. So, Kindle version, okay. I would do, if you can, when the video comes out here, a Kindle version might be available through the ISBN number, okay? So look for it, okay? To answer the last question for Jim. Well, Nathan didn't make it, but oh my gosh, he did such good work. And thank you so much for everything you do in scouting. And I will see you guys next year. Oh my gosh. Good night, everyone. I really appreciate all you do. Keep up the good work, and I will see you on the trail.